If you ever stood in a room with a lot of people, imagine you're in a room with 200 people, some you know, some you don't know, and you might be in conversation right here with somebody, and suddenly something catches your attention. You hear your name. Now, isn't that strange? There could be 200 people speaking, tremendous amounts of conversation, words, discussions went back and forth, but the minute that you heard your name, suddenly you were able to discern it and hear it. Now, how is that possible? You couldn't possibly process all that information. You couldn't possibly listen. Scientists now explain to us that the subconscious mind does a tremendous service for us. It filters out unnecessary information. For instance, if you were to stop and listen, you would hear constant distractions. There might be a truck down the street, might be a noise of a coworker, there might be various things, but your mind filters that out so that you can focus on the discussion or focus on what you want to. But the rest of that information is being processed by your subconscious mind. When you're in conversation with that one person, all of the hundreds of other conversations are being processed. They're there. You're not aware of them. But when something is greatly troubling, all of a sudden, my name, you'll focus in on it because your subconscious is processing all that information, yet allowing your conscious mind to be focused until it's alerted you that it's time to switch your conscious mind to someplace else. Now, this ability to concentrate is a tremendously significant tool. Oftentimes, little children don't have it to the same degree. Attention deficit disorder is a manifestation of the lack of that executive function. But here's the point. The human mind is able to filter out many distractions so that it can focus on what it should. Well, here's the interesting observations. Bats talk to one another. So when one bat speaks to the other bat hears it, and they can converse back and forth. Yet astonishingly, a bat is able to navigate in a cave. Now imagine you have a brown bat in a cave, and it sends out a sound. It gets a bounce back. Well, there's another bat next to it that sends out a sound, and it gets a bounce back. And there's another brown bat that sends out its sound, and it gets a bounce. So this cave is a bunch of echoes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. How does a brown bat not get lost? How does it not get confused with other people's screams, other people's screeches? How does it manage to find its own screech? The answer is it was given a filter mechanism. It hears all the other screeches. In fact, if it's necessary to communicate with the other bat, it will focus on it. But when it's not, it filters it out and only focuses on its own echo coming off the wall. Now, if this is not astonishing, let's just focus on the fact that bats live in very large colonies. Often as many as 1 million bats will be in a cave. Echoes and screaming and screaming, and yet the bat is able to filter out every other sound, hear only its echo, be able to determine size, dimensions, thickness with it, able to interpret it all at 10 beats a second, 200 beats a second, its ear always shutting off the muscle, shutting it and listening. And when you study the wisdom that's replete in this creation, you should step back and say, this is astonishing. If this is the creation, what does it tell me about my Creator? And by studying the wisdom in the creation, you begin to get an eye glimpse as to the capacity, the greatness of our Creator.